Buyer brokers agreements, you gotta know that it's not just a piece of paper, it's an entire presentation. When you're talking with people about how to do this correctly and navigating yourself, your clients, the agents on your team or inside your brokerage, you gotta have a system that's not just designed to give exactly what's compliant, but also give it a great sales experience. So I'm going to break down for you what LPT has produced for the buyer broker agreement, the entire presentation, physical and digital. And real quickly in this part of the video, I'm going to go ahead and actually order my box. I'm going to show you my first box. I'm actually about to order it. And then we're going to skip to, obviously in time, when I actually have the physical box, I'm going to walk you through every single piece in there and how we're using it in the business. And remember, I'm Isaac Guzman with Real Estate CEOs. We are a great network of real estate professionals at LPT, and we're here to help you grow. So if you ever want to learn more, before you do that, before you go in the comments or before you go into the description below and book one-on-one time with me to learn about how you can partner with us, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and also like and share and drop a comment if you think this is amazing. If you think we missed anything, please comment in the video. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so I just logged into my LPT Connect backend, and this whole backend here has a bunch of different options, but here's where I'm going. I'm going to marketing, okay? Then I'm gonna go, I've already set up a lot of my stuff in here, but here's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to agent marketing. I'm gonna go to my prospecting power packs. And you'll see right now the buyer pre-showing power pack. And this is what we're about to break down for you, but I'm showing you exactly the ordering because I want you to know, hey, I'm here to buy this same stuff and leverage this in my business. I'm going to say, hey, I'm good for 3%, and we have a transaction fee of $4.97 for the clients. Okay, great. This is what all this is going to look like. Obviously, it's going to have my head over here on all these things. I'm ready to start ordering this bad boy because I want mine right away. All right, so here we go. I went ahead and selected the fastest option. Now I'm all the way in California, so it might cost a little bit more for me than most, but here we go. Boom. I'm gonna go ahead and check that out, and bam. So that's me ordering it. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down for you exactly what's in this box. Our CEO and founder, Robert Palmer, I actually got a sneak peek of this last night before they rolled it out, which was really cool. It's just fortuitous. He and I were on a Zoom call, and they happened to walk in with the box and delivered it to him, so he went and showed me live. So it was really cool. I got to see it the same time he did, but it was awesome, and I'm going to cut to a video now of him breaking down how we're using it. Keep watching because at the end, I'm going to also give you a great opportunity that you might not be able to find anywhere else. So we'll jump into that.
The home buyer workbook, and if we can come out of this, Dave, and let's play the video from March about the home buyer workbook and how we described it. Again, this was the Monday after the settlement. Settlement was announced on a Friday. Saturday, Sunday, Monday at 11 a.m. we were ready to show exactly what we are doing here today in detail. And let's run that video of the print side of what we committed to and what we were going to build. This is the new printed bound magazine. The buyer broker agreement will actually live in the back of this and be perforated. So you can give them the magazine, walk them through your value proposition, get that buyer broker agreement signed in person, and then tear the perforation out of the back, take a picture of it, upload it to LPT Connect, and you are ready to go. Yeah, so that was our home buyer workbook, which we are now here, and we're about to walk you through slide by slide. The one thing we decided to do differently, though, is we are not including the buyer broker agreement in the magazine. We're giving you a notepad of them, which I actually need to get out of that box. So while you go full screen, I'm going to do that real quick, Dave.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So small change, and again, that was a little bit of feedback that as we looked at how people were actually going to be utilizing the product, we made some changes to make it more user friendly.
All right. So I just, if you want to come back, Dave, I just pulled this out of the box. And we're going to get into these details, but I want you guys to see how this is. So we decided that instead of perforating it and putting it in the back of the book, we should give you it in like a prescription notepad. So I'm going to try to open this.
Oh, yeah.
Because we like to shrink wrap everything from the print shop.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's like Teflon.
Out here. I'm going to hand this to Michael, though.
There we go.
Yeah.
Because then I can look foolish.
Yeah, you look foolish off camera. So what we decided to do is it's like a tear-off notepad, right? So it's got a piece of chipboard in the back. It's got 25 of the buyer broker agreements. So that if you decide you want to use the paper version, you don't have to with every book, because that's kind of what we realized. You may have a consumer that you hand them the printed workbook, but then you decide to send them the link to e-sign to e-sign the pre-touring agreement, right? Instead of having to burn one of them in the back of the magazine. So these were some of the things we learned along the way. We also made a lot of updates to that agreement, making it more simplified, making it look less like a contract, less intimidating, make it really a way to properly comply with the NAR settlement, to disclose compensation, but not try to overwhelm our buyer. And what's important is this is not a replacement for a buyer-broker agreement. This is what we are calling a pre-showing brokerage disclosure and agreement. This is the bare minimum needed to get through the NAR settlement. My recommendation is go straight for buyer-broker agreement. This is a single form that is valid in all 50 states. It does not create agency. All right, it is not a replacement for a buyer-broker agreement. It is simply there so that you can meet the requirements of the NAR settlement before you show someone a house. I don't want to call it a touring agreement necessarily. Zillow put one of those out. That's not what this is, and we can take you through this. We're going to have classes on this all next week. Basically, what this is saying is any home I show you, this is how much compensation you're going to pay me. Again, doesn't create agency. It outlines there will be a separate document for agency, which is state specific. All right, it doesn't say single property. It doesn't have a property address on it. It basically says if I show you the house. So any property address that I show you, this is the compensation I will be entitled to. If you don't want to see houses with me anymore, don't call me to see houses. Like, that's basically how you cancel this agreement, because there's no other level of commitment. Like, yeah, you're going to go see this house with me, and if you buy this house, this is my compensation. And if you don't ever want to see a house with me again because I did a terrible job, you don't need to cancel this. Just don't look at any more houses with me, because that's how we wrote this agreement. So again, this is on a cool notepad. You can see them in here, and they tear off nice and easy off the top. So it's like, hey, boom, I'm going to tear off one. I'm going to get it signed by my buyer, and I'm going to move on, or I'm going to use the digital tools. All right. So this is all about, again, the multiple houses. Any house that you show them is covered by this agreement. We didn't go property specific. We didn't go date specific. It's just about, did you show them the house? Now, again, this is not a buyer-broker agreement. You still should get a buyer-broker agreement signed that meets your state requirements prior to submitting offers. I recommend it to get the consumer to have a higher level of commitment to you. We've talked a lot about on the training of this like multi-step ladder of commitment. So this is the low commitment document, and then after that, you want to go to the higher commitment document. We do have this in .loop. All right, at 5 o'clock today, you're going to be able to order all the stuff I'm going to show you today inside of Connect. And then at 5 o'clock today as well, we're going to launch the automated system inside of Connect where you can get these signed. But they are in .loop right now, okay, at 5 o'clock Eastern time. We didn't want to do it right now because we know you guys will all crash the server if I let you log in while we're on the Zoom. So we're going to release everything at 5 o'clock today, all right? And yes, these will be available in Spanish as well. That's not in .loop. We're working on that still, but yeah, these will be available in Spanish, and eventually all of this will be available in Spanish, but it's still going through the translation process on some of the stuff. Some of it's ready, some of it's not, because we've been making changes for the last 2 weeks. All right. Let me give this back to Michael. So let's go back to the slides now. So that was the big change we made. Other than that, it is basically the workbook that we outlined we were going to build all the way back in March. I'm going to kind of burn through this real quick so you guys can see how good it looks. You know, you open it up. You got your table of contents. It has your face on the cover as the agent. We get into amazing content that we're going to show you on the screen there. We've got content and information. We've got checklists. And again, I'm going to take you through each of these pages. I just wanted to get you kind of a vibe of what it feels like before we go into individual pages. Then we get into these checklists, which we printed on smooth paper so you can actually write on it. So the front is glossy, the back is smooth, and then we go back to glossy at the end when we get into selling a house, all right? This is an absolutely beautiful magazine for you to do with your consumers. So let's go to the slides. Let me run you through these page by page. So the first page there, if we can go back, Dave, the first page there, is that the first one? Yeah, benefits of home ownership. So we start with benefits of home ownership. Here we break down 10 benefits of home ownership for that consumer. And again, all of these will be available in Knowledge Base. You'll be able to see them at 5 o'clock today. But benefits of home ownership is the first page. From there, we go into best practices for house hunting. This is things like don't go unrepresented, review and execute your realtor disclosures, understand the total cost, get pre-approved. Again, we're stepping the buyer through everything they need to know. After that, we go into, next page, we go into 8 reasons to work with LPT Realty, and we talk about things like us being an innovative brokerage, you being their expert guide, you taking them down the path, the expansive networks of agents. It's absolutely great. Next page from there, we go into unique ways that LPT agents can help a consumer find properties. So here we talk about things like, hey, you can use a prospecting pack to go canvas a neighborhood to try to get off-market properties for your buyer, right? You can go put your 7 home buyer strategies door hangers on a neighborhood neighborhood they may be interested in. We outline these strategies here in addition to the basics of, hey, I can search MLS. I can also go canvas neighborhoods on your behalf because I'm at LPT Realty. I have relationships with builders. Again, we break down all the different ways that you have value as an LPT agent and a professional to help that consumer find their dream home other than just searching online portals in the MLS. Next page. All right, understanding the updated process. So this is the one where we describe what's happening with NAR. You know, simple 3 steps. We explain that written agreements before touring homes, direct compensation payments are now allowed, and then no offers of compensation on the MLS. We didn't want to go super deep into this because we recognize that some consumers don't know, don't care. But we did want to have a basic flyer inside this booklet explaining, hey, this is what's changing, this is what's going on, so that you can use that as a way to help explain to your consumer. Next page is resources available to you from LPT Realty. So this is where we make your consumer aware of things like the 7 home buyer strategies, the active marketing plan, and the 9 critical questions. All of the great stuff that we have as LPT for you to use. Again, this is all about positioning you and setting you apart. Your face on the cover of a magazine. It's perfect bound, which is viewed as the highest level of influence and credibility when it comes to something printed. It's high quality, it's gloss, it's got that mixture of matte in it. And then things like this, again, you have resources available as an LPT Realty agent that other brokerages just do not have. All right, so we go through all that in the beginning. All right, and now we get into the next section, which is the home buyer guides and worksheets. All right, so now we've got 2 different sections. We've got the LPT Ultimate Home Buying Planner worksheets for house hunting, and then we've got worksheets for closing. All right. So we're going to kick that off with a needs versus wants checklist. All right. And again, this is on matte paper, so it's easy for you to write on with the consumer, take out a pen, draw on it. You're now getting them engaged. It's interactive. All right. We go needs versus wants. What's really important to them in house hunting. From there, we go to a neighborhood analysis worksheet. Here they identify the things that are most important to them about different neighborhoods. Maybe they have a school district they really want to be in. Maybe they want to be close to their family. Maybe they want a gated neighborhood. Maybe they don't want an HOA. It's a consultative form for you to take them through that process. All right, from there we go to what we call property analysis worksheets. All right, so from there we have 5 of these in the magazine so they can take notes on individual properties inside of their magazine they're now going to carry around with your face on it. All right, from there we go into our moving coordination worksheet. So this is getting them to start thinking about what's it going to be like to move. All right, 8 weeks before, 6 weeks before, 4 weeks before, what are the things that you should be doing to prepare for the move? From there, we go into a final moving checklist. This is like, hey, now it's the day of moving. Do I have my packing tape? Do I have my boxes? Am I ready to go? All right, and again, all of this is interactive for them to fill out with a good old-fashioned, pen and piece of paper. And then after that, we also give them a new homeowner maintenance checklist. So the idea is we want the magazine to stick around even after closing so that they still have your face and your contact information hanging around their house. So we go from wants versus needs before they even start home searching, all the way through post-closing maintenance ideas and a checklist for them to stay up with the process. From there, we pivot in, hey, do you have a home to sell? Because guess what we know? A lot of home buyers do. And so here we're going to advertise your active marketing plan and also explain here in the copy that if they have a home to sell in another market, that you can help connect them with an amazing LPT agent there and say, hey, I have this amazing collateral and I've done a great job for you. And just like I did that here, oh, you've got a home to sell in Texas. We've got great agents in Texas. Oh, you have a home to sell in North Carolina. We have amazing agents in North Carolina. And I can help introduce you to one of them that has all these amazing tools. And then from there, we explain the active marketing plan. So we walk them through the basics of the active marketing plan and then encourage them to ask you for a copy of that active marketing plan. All right. And then again, on the back here, we've got your picture, your contact information. Everything about you is how this is branded, your phone number, your website's there in that back page. It's there for you to be able to brand yourself and win with that consumer. Now, so we did this and we said, all right, so this is the magazine. This is one path. One path is let me hand the consumer the magazine and give them the whole shebang. But we also recognize, we need to be flexible. So in addition to that, in addition to being able to give someone the whole magazine, we also give you these flyers inside of the pack. Again, this is your headshot up here in the corner. Your contact information is on all of these. So those same pages that were in the book, the benefits of home ownership, it's turned into a mini flyer version. So you say, you know what? I don't need to give this consumer one of my full home buyer workbooks. I'm just going to give them the benefits of home ownership flyer. Or I'm going to give them the 8 reasons to work with an LPT Realty agent flyer, okay? Or I'm going to give them the resources available to you from LPT flyer. You have choices. This is all about being nimble and you designing the right roadmap for that consumer in real time in the fly. And so the idea is you have this power pack in your trunk at all times so that you have everything you need. Whether you need a pre-showing agreement, you need a flyer, you need a full workbook, you need a 7 home buyer strategies, whatever you need, it's in this box in the back of your car. And the box is built to serve between 20 and 30 homeowners by building these different paths and different roadmaps. So every 20 or 30 home buyers, every 20 or 30 buyer presentations, you're going to need to re-up with a new box. But we feel like that's a good number to get most agents through at least a year. You know, maybe some of you guys sell more than that, but for a lot of agents, that's a whole year worth of activity, all right? We've also got the understanding the updated process again. So all of the content pages from the magazine are also available in these flyers. And then we also did a mini version of the property analysis worksheet, all right? So if you've got a consumer and you're like, hey, let's take down some notes about this particular property, let me grab you one of these out of my buyer power pack, all right? So that is our mini versions of the flyers. Let's go back to the slideshow.
All right, so there you have it. That's an amazing piece, and I just ordered mine. I can't wait to get mine and start implementing it. I've already met with my team. We're already learning how to work this into our presentation, so that way by the time that box gets here in just a few days, we're already up and running. Everyone knows how to use it, and we know how to move people along in the conversation. So I'm super grateful that LPT created the resources. They're sourcing us with all of that, and in addition to that, they're providing the training needed to implement it quickly. Because could you give me a box like that and me with my sales and marketing expertise be able to figure out how to assimilate that into my business? Absolutely. But isn't it amazing that I don't have to spend time doing that and I can focus on what's really important to me, which is me and my clients, right? And my agents on my team. So in either case, I know you got a ton of value out of that. Now here's a special offer. If you want to learn exactly what we're doing with this box beyond just what Robert talks about, and join us for a live training with me and agents inside LPT and inside my team on how we're going to actually do this with a live Q&A session, what you're going to want to do is go down below, book some one-on-one time with me, because I do want to have a quick chat with you before and kind of do a level set and then send you to that live training that we're doing. And we're actually doing one every 2 weeks right now through the rest of 2024. So even if you're watching this in November of 2024, great, there's still an opportunity for you to do that. And we might even keep doing it through 2025, but I got a feeling that by then we'll have a lot of other sessions that we'll be working through. So if you're watching this video in that time frame, make sure that you go ahead and do that. Now, if you want just a personalized one where you're not part of a group training, I'm open to that too. So if you go ahead and click that link and book some one-on-one time with me, I'd love to talk with you about your business, about how you can get started with awesome stuff like this to help you navigate the new real estate industry. Until next time, happy selling.